Crimson Tide are open this week prior to traveling to Georgia on September 27th. And Coach, while we wait on questions, if you could take a moment to comment on your squad as you enter this week's open date.
Yeah, you bet. Just pleased with the progress we've made the last couple of weeks. Felt like we took another step in many of the areas, and just got to keep working here in the bye week and getting hopefully some guys healthy leading into Georgia.
First up is Nick Kelly of AL.com.
Hey, Kalen, I wanted to ask about Isaiah Horton. What have you liked from Isaiah Horton so far, and where do you still want to see improvement from him?
Yeah, I think he's every week building a better rapport with Ty and just our offensive system, understanding, where to be and when to be there, quarterback friendly, knows that the ball will find him if he just, continues to run his routes the way he's supposed to and all that. Just thought he had a good solid week last week again. And so love how he is gelled with the receiving core, and they really play for each other. And, early in the game, he did some things to really help our team. He may not be the one that got targeted. He may not have been the one carrying the ball, but he was blocking downfield. He was running his routes hard. And then as the game goes on, he ends up, finding the ball in his hands too and making a nice touchdown catch in particular. So just really pleased with the mindset he has. I think he's really understood the last couple of weeks, what we're looking for and how we need to do it.
Next is Charlie Potter of Bama Online.
Yeah, hey, Coach. Just wanted to get your initial impressions of this Georgia offense, and in particular their quarterback, Gunnar Stockton.
Yeah, I think he's played some big games, in just a short amount of time. When you look at the end of last year and this last week in particular, he's done a nice job just managing the offense and then making plays when he needs to, throwing the ball down the field, finding his matchups, and then keeping plays alive with his feet. And so he really, I think, adds a dimension to their offense, because of that. So I think they're doing a good job, utilizing his skill set and the offensive personnel that are around him. And, that's a credit to, Georgia staff.
And I know you're expecting to get Tim Keenan back, or at least hoping to, but what have you seen from London Simmons when he's kind of stepped up and kind of been your starter there in the middle of the defensive line?
Yeah, I felt like he's gotten more and more comfortable each week with his responsibility. And then now it's kind of gone to where, he's expecting to make a play himself and, being able to finish. And so just the steps that you need a young guy to take, he's taken those.
Next is Steve Moulton of WZZN.
Hey, Coach. Hope you're doing well today, sir.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask in particular of drops and I'm asking because whether the route was the right one, was the ball put in the right place, of just evaluate the couple of drops there in the Wisconsin game for me, Coach.
Yeah, we had two there in the fourth quarter that I know really jump off the screen, and just guys got to continue to, just watch the ball all the way in. And I think that's a lot of it. I thought the ball was right where it needed to be, and that's just focus, especially the two young men, Ryan and Lottie. I mean, these guys got great hands, and so it's not about that. It's about keeping your eye on the football and knowing that you can't go anywhere without it, and just doing your job first of catching it, and then let your ability go make the play afterwards.
You referenced the Georgia's last game. I'd love to get your thoughts in particular about the Georgia-Tennessee game, Coach.
Just compete until the very end, and that's what we saw a year ago, and that's what you're going to expect to see every time, they step on the football field. So didn't matter what the scoreboard said. There's a high level of competition happening, and just playing that play and only that play.
Thank you, Coach.
Mm-hmm.
If there are any final questions for Coach DeBoer, please use the raise hand function. I think we have a follow-up from Steve.
I do, Coach. It is about Ty Simpson. What kind of development have you seen out of Ty just from game one to the last game against Wisconsin, Coach?
I think he's really slowed the game down. He stayed disciplined. He's staying more disciplined with, just where his reads are taking him and not being in a hurry. And then keeping his eyes downfield and trusting the offensive line. Even, when he's got to hang in there, I thought the third down on the second drive, him just ripping that corner to Ryan was a big time throw. And, that you love to see that, he's made those plays more now the last couple of weeks. And so it's just him getting more comfortable, him understanding, when he's got to make those big throws, how to keep drives alive, and and staying ahead of the chains. He's just doing a better job with all of those things here these last 2 weeks. But yeah, I think he's becoming more comfortable, more confident, and of course the team is becoming more confident in him too.
And obviously a lot of fans are getting ready for a week from Saturday, Coach, but it makes me think about the game in Tuscaloosa last year. What stood out to you the most about that win in Tuscaloosa against Georgia last year for your teams, Coach?
We competed till the end. They did as well, and did a nice job in the second half. But we also kept playing, and we had, didn't make our own breaks there a couple series. They couldn't get off the field at times, but in the end, we made the plays too. We kept believing and kept fighting. So I expect that from our football team with kind of where we've been at and how we've attacked practice, attacked the games. We're in a fighter's mentality mode right now too.
Next is Katie Wyndham of Bama Central.
Yeah. Hey, Kalen, your team has struggled on the road the last 2 seasons, and you talked about before and after Florida State, you've got to start fast. Kane talked about protecting the sideline. With 2 weeks leading up to this huge road game, how do you kind of make sure that those things are happening and that playing on the road doesn't become a mental thing?
Yeah, I mean, our preparation just is going to lead to confidence, and you got to know that you're going to, you got to weather the storm. The storms that come early, and that, again, you got to play 4 quarters of football, and you don't have the help from the crowd or anything. It's got to be on you and you and your guys around you. So, take ownership in doing your job right, and, doing it at a high level, and knowing you got to do it over and over and over again. But there's going to be adversity, and it's about the response to adversity. That's where we got to be better.
Coach will finish you up with Ryan Fowler of the game. Ryan, go ahead. Just unmute your line.
Hey, Coach, Ty Simpson referenced after the game of continuing the momentum, how important this bye week was. How do you, because it seems like your team has turned the corner from an offensive standpoint, how do you continue that momentum, even though you've taken a couple of days off from practice?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, guys, back in here today, we got to make sure we keep our edge. We just got to continue to be deliberate, be intentional. Those have been some of the common themes that I've stressed to the guys. Whenever we do things, we got to be moving and operating with a purpose. And it's led to just really positive and good body language and effort that's kind of been contagious through our football team. And so we just got to keep that energy high. We got to understand that we got to keep getting better every single snap we take, whether it be in practice or whether it be in the course of a game, that it's all about us being our best and continuing to improve. And that we've done a lot of that over the last 2 weeks, and there's still a higher ceiling yet to be had.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Coach, thank you.
You bet.